Hi and thanks for dropping by. If you're into succulents and wanting to know what you can do with them, I hope you like this. I love this hanging ceramic container. Now I'm going to use artificial succulents because I want to put this into my bathroom. And for those of you who may be wondering, why do things in the bathroom not last very long? Plants, in fact, most plants don't like hot and cold. They don't like steamy. In fact, if you remember, think of plants as little babies. If you wouldn't put a baby into any environment that's hot or cold or there's a draft or anything like that, just remember that that's how it is with plants. But anyway, I found this really lovely container, and as I said, I want to put something into my bathroom. These are the forms that I found. I found this wedding veil or bridal veil. I absolutely love it. And I love the fact that all of these plants that I worked with as a young junior florist are all starting to come back, and I've got a couple of friends who are a little bit cool and a little bit edgy, and they've also asked me if there was any way that I could come up with a great concept for incorporating succulents into a Christmas design. So I've got you covered with that today as well. So into here, because I'm using the artificial, I've put the grey foam into the bottom. So just remember that grey foam goes with artificial, and the composition of that is really hard, so that when you push your stems into it, it sort of like grabs around it. If you wanted to do this with fresh succulents, then you would use the green foam and you soak that in water until the bubbles stop raising to the surface. Just put it into a sink or a bucket of water and just let it just sink down to the bottom. When the bubbles stop, you know that it's ready to go. Now, if you wanted to plant this up, then you could just put some soil into there and just plant them as if they were going to grow. And the great thing about succulents is, like even from one of these little florets or petals, it will grow from that. And you just put it into sandy soil and it takes no time to just actually start growing, which is really quite lovely. Okay, so with these, I'm going to use the wedding bead or the bridal veil. It's got lots of names, but I can't quite remember what we used to call it. It was something money or something, or money pockets or something when I was growing up. So I've only got 3 of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these around the outside of my pot with equal distance around each one. By that I mean that the distance between there and there, there and there, and there and there would be round about the same, give or take a couple of centimetres here and there. And if you just remember that nothing in nature is perfect, so don't try and play God and you'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side because I've got my divisions all sorted out. And when you're doing it, you probably, well, you would be best to be hanging it before you got any further than now, but my light's not going to hold it. So I'm just going to push that to one side and just make sure, if you've got something like this, that when you are doing it, that you place your material so that the plants aren't going to get caught on any of these little hanging bits that go up. Okay, now I've got this here, which isn't really a succulent-y thing, but it sort of has those lovely colours with it. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to put that down into the middle. Did you hear that sound as it sort of like goes in and it grabs? Now I just need to make sure that this is, if you're using fresh, you can't be as rough as I am. But as I said, I'm going to need to make sure that from where I've put that, when I hang it up, it's not going to get in the road. The other thing that you have to remember, because it's going to hang, is that you get the perfect balance so that it is going to hang straight. Right from there, I've got these, and I'm just going to put one of those into there. Now I've only got 2 of those, so I'm going to put one on that side, hang that up out of the road, and I'll put that into there. And the great thing about this grey foam is it's quite hard to get things to get them pushed in. Now this I thought was quite nice, so I've got one there and I've got one there. I've only got one of those, so I'm just going to put that there and let it take up as much room as it can. And now I said, did I have 2 of those? No, I don't have 2 of those. So I'll put that there, and then to balance it up, I'm going to bring that little baby in and over to that side there. Now I've got 2 of these. Aren't they beautiful? They're so clever in China, and I wish I could find a really good source in which I could tell you where to go to buy your own, but I'm just figuring that you're going to do this in either fresh or artificial. And if you're anything like me, when I'm out and about wandering around, if I see anything like this, I always buy 2 or 3 of them so that I know that I've got them for my designing. Okay, that can go into there like that, and then just get into there and just push that out. I've got one there, and I'm going to bring that one over to there so that that's on that side, so that I've got those evenly distributed. Right, now with these, I'm just going to push those into there. Now, already I know that that's not going to stay in there because its stem's not long enough. So I've got some florist wire over here. And what I'll do with that is just to extend it a little bit further, just get your wire and then put that around there like that, and then just wind that around and down. And then when you push that in, that will give extra legs so that it will stay there, and I can actually even turn that so that it's sort of like falling down just a little bit. I'm going to repeat that on the other side, remembering that balance is important. So I've got one over there, so I'm just going to bring that one in and over to that side there and push that out. This one here, gosh, if I had a cent for every time I've done that, I'd be a very rich woman. And then that one can go into there like so. And then with this one, I'm just going to bring these up and into the center as if they were growing. That can go into up into there, and then with this one, I'm just going to take that down into that little piece into there. And I already know I'm having issues with getting that into there, so I'll just cut that off, and then I'll just bring that little one into there. Now, this is when you know whether you've done a good job or you've done a bad job, and everything is... No, I know. I knew this, because I should have hung it before I started, but I didn't, did I? So that there, once I've got it hung up, I'll just unravel all of those little strings into there. Now, from here, if you wanted to turn this into something Christmassy, what I've got here is this little green bauble here, which I really, really love. And it's not Christmassy, but it's for what I want for today. It's going to be okay. Put a knot into that, and then getting another piece of wire, put that up and around there like that, cut those extra bits off like so, and I've got a little space into there, so I'm going to put that down to there so that it hangs in with those. And then with this one here, because I've broken the bauble off, I just use a satay stick, put that onto there like that, and then bring that up and into there like that so that they both hang down. How quick and easy is that? A gorgeous Christmas arrangement or a succulent arrangement with a couple of baubles. It's just a hint of Christmas, but for those of you who don't want very much for Christmas, I think that that's going to be quite cool and groovy. I hope you enjoy that. I've enjoyed making it for you, and I just know that that's going to look fantastic in my bathroom. Thanks for sharing time with me, and I will see you another day.